wanna be a player, but you weren't too smart. You gotta hit Melt up to get a pink powder.
Aha! Greetings, Commanders, and welcome back to another episode of Pimp My Arc. Today, our guest is Aries. Aries, say hello.
Hey everyone. Hey Mel, how's it going?
We're doing good, man. So I've already got into your account. Looks like you have a Rogers avatar. I know you're not a Rogers main. Let's jump into Commanders. What's going on here?
Well, I mainly just fool around with the first two, Hubarian and Hancock there. Hancock's just for sweetie purposes mostly, but I mean, I dabble with them, throw them in when I need them.
So do you run this Hancock in Endless? I need to make a video about that.
No, I actually don't. My Endless, what I run there, you'll actually, if you go to Endless, you'll see what I run. I have it still on my front screen there. Know what I mean? My lineup hasn't changed.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, Endless with Hubarian is sick. Like, you can go from 200 to 230 if you play a Hubarian right. But, yeah, that feral strength...
Sadly, I haven't broken 192 yet, so...
You should have ran Hubarian. Did you even... Or Hancock. Did you try Hancock?
I haven't yet, but...
Did I say Hubarian? I meant Hancock.
No, I haven't tried Hancock in there yet.
Yeah, he's good, man. He's really good. He's S-Class, too. Check you... Oh, no, he's not. Sorry. That's your... Oh, wow, you got the neural implant. Steam Cannon, Hancock.
Oh, I have one. I have an implant in all 5 commanders there.
Jeez, 60 million account. You have 5 implants. Wow. Do you actually play with all 5 commanders? I mean, PvP-wise.
Yeah, I use them. I use all of them in cat battles and in Galactic Campaign. I use all of them, so...
So it's a pretty active PvP server. I mean, in regards to you get to actually fight for capitals. I haven't fought for a cap. This is Exostalker's server. This is USG.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so we're in USG, right? That's the guild here?
Oh, no, we're in Way.
Aries. I knew that. I knew that. Because you know Exostalker and Serenity are old friends of mine, right?
No, I actually didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. In fact, check this out. Serenity got me this. Oh, you can't see it. Okay. Well, it's this sweet tumbler mug. I use it every day. Anyway. So, WAI and USG must be allies then.
Not anymore. War kind of broke out this morning.
This morning? What happened?
Yeah, recent. Today. So...
What happened?
They had recruited another guild into theirs, the one that Lunch Lady was in. I can't seem to remember the prefix on it, but they had recruited them to join them. And it was supposed to be for Galactic Campaign reasons. And so we went looking for a guild to join us for Galactic Campaign, and we had gone to WDG was their name. And we had started negotiations with them on getting them to come over and help us strictly for Galactic Campaign reasons. And, well, I think a little bit was misunderstanding because they pretty much accused that we were bringing them over for a power struggle, like for fighting reasons. And we had no intentions of that. Everything was peaceful. We had a tile agreement. We only fought and sat for fun. And the rest of the capitals were all split up. But no, it's been fun. It's been fun today. I'll tell you that.
All right. So so new alliances breaking up old alliances. Capital batter. Okay, I got a couple capitals in here. Stoner's getting some repair bills.
I'd say it's kind of back and forth. I did a lot more losing today than I wanted to, but it happens.
Wow. Okay. Regarding the alliances and war and all that, is there anything you want to say to USG or your other guildmates now that you have the hot mic?
Well, I mean, the alliance that we had was nice. It pretty much gave everyone a growth opportunity, and the server itself was very Galactic Campaign oriented, where we all just try to focus on growing and declaring war, which was declared by EXO this morning. it kind of just hurts everyone as far as Galactic Campaign goes. I mean, now everyone's going to be paying for healing and all that stuff, and that's going to take away from what you have available when it comes time for Galactic. I mean, look at my gold. I had probably about 80,000 gold this morning, and I spent most of it gold jumping and all that. So,
Exostalker,
Comes-
Warmaker, killing the piece. Okay. Can I ask you this then? Has this last 12 hours of war been some of the best times you've had in Ark of War, despite losing the treaty?
I'd actually have to go with no, because those sat fights were fun because we limited it to T10 only. So that way you don't have all the T12 players just knocking all the little T10 players from each guild or lower out. It made a kind of even battlefield for everyone to just test their commanders, test their gear, see how we do. Every 2 days, it was fun. We both sides would just nonstop send and just have a little fun knocking each other out of the capitals. Whereas today, I mean, you look at me, I'm a T10 player. There's a lot of times I'm not going to touch those T12s. And it was a lot more fun for me. I could do a lot more damage back then. And it was all in the name of having fun instead of, let's see who can actually kill the other person.
So you guys had some kind of a peace treaty, but you still fought for capitals with tier 10 or less.
Yeah, it was in our treaty, you know what I mean? We had an agreement where our main guilds could gather level 15, up to level 15 tiles, our secondaries could go up to 14, then the rest of the server was 13 or under. And then in that agreement, it was sat is only T10 and below. And if you use T12, you had to compensate the other member that you used T12 against what they lost in resources and stuff.
Bureaucracy.
And I mean, it worked for a while.
All right, let's jump into the commanders. We were touching Hancock. 14,000 leadership. That's a fair amount. That's a chunk. 13,000 Hubarian. That's a chunk. 18,000 Dragon Slayer. Shockwave's level 40. Definitely. Okay. Oh, the Vega main. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a dirty dwarf main.
Yeah.
I actually used to be a Nekajiro main. I was infantry, but it came time to choose for T10, and I kind of switched.
So it looks like you're min-maxing pure damage build. Titan, Devastation, Maguel. I like that. Shadow for the Resistance Weekend instead of going for, like, I don't know, the Airship Defense, Curator, Creator, whatever, Tyrant. That's a good build. Looks like you're awakening something. What are you awakening here? Whoa! You have 569%. You're perma-awakened, huh? You never break it.
No, when it gets low like that, like here pretty soon, I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of release 10s, so
there's a
I
release
gotta get that back up.
There's a release event on my server right now. Yeah, you guys have one too.
Yeah, I've released some.
You got to be careful though, because
probably tomorrow I'm going to, but I really don't have any interest in the commanders they're giving away this time.
Yeah, so that's why you get the awakening materials instead of the medals, because you can't get awakened materials if you're getting the plug-in medals. But what's our fourth skill here? Shockwave? No, yeah, Shockwave. Level 1 Shockwave, man. It's underrated. Even
tell you what, it does a lot of damage if you go up against the right opponent.
Yeah, it can really pay off big time. It's almost like Hoodoo's Death Rattle. Sometimes, man, you can just do wild things with it. But
I actually had Death Rattle on my Dragon Slayer for a while just because I thought it was kind of dickish.
Oh, that's right, because you're running tier 10
Right now it's Shield Wall just for survivability, but it was Death Rattle.
It's also another damage build here. I don't know, man. What else can you run in this slot? I forget. Oh, I don't want to click that because that's level 15. Dragon Slayer.
Oh, it's okay. I just put that on this morning. I'm literally just testing out the whole shield wall thing. Yeah. Just to see how it does.
At level 15, it if you change it, it drops back to 10. It's not that big of a deal, but...
No, that's an easy to get skill, and I'll never use the commanders they go on, so...
So you're at a fun place in the meta right now because you're a tier 10 airship. You've got Rogers, Hancock, Vega, Dragon Slayer. You've got 3 incredibly potent commanders, and then you got a 60k Rogers who's a boss commander. I like the half Eternal Barrier, half Titan, although I'm not a big fan of EB anymore just because it just doesn't have that high stats.
Trust me, the next good Titan I get, that's coming off.
Yeah, because
I'm just waiting on another good Titan.
EB is like 4% per level. It's just trash. It's just
Well, the way I look at it, that level 20 type, I mean, that level 20 Eternal Barrier, if I get rid of that, I'm losing 60% HP in defense. Whereas if I bring a Titan to level 20, which I couldn't tell you the exact stat on it right now because all of mine are above that, I'm gain. Oh no, I have one level 20 Titan if you look. I think that one's a crap one though, but it's worth the exchange, if you know what I mean.
well, yeah, you've got one there, but
I'd rather gain that damage and lose that little bit of HP and defense. I could get back in gems if I want.
yeah, one of the nice things about playing just two commanders, like I mostly main Gilly. I just focus all my interest into Gilly because that's my galactic battle commander. My plasma doesn't do much, and I'm tier 12, so I can't. I have like a small tank Stella build for fun, but really I just had to go pure Gilly. I could run Hancock with tier 11, which I may start doing, but just the way that my guild plays, and we have no capital battle, so I don't do a lot of skirmishing. It's just big fights all the time, which is as cool as it sounded years ago. It's just kind of honestly boring. It's just not a lot of versatility in the PvP market once you get past tier 11.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I had a hard time choosing between the three different troops. Well, not really. I hate walkers, to be honest. I don't use walkers.
Yeah,
If you look
suck.
at my basic research, my walker research is complete garbage. I did like nothing there.
Oh.
And yeah, that's one downfall on my part is I focused on the two I cared about and never did the walker. But that's why I went with airship though. I planned on being an airship main, but T10 air you can use on walker comms, T11 you can use on infantry. So I can still use all three types if I want. It's just I had to choose one type for my main, but I can still make the other commanders that I like my old Nekajiro, which sadly has level 1 skills now instead of level 60. I can still use him if I build him back up.
I like the gear on Rogers. Rogers' gear looks good. Just needs that Titan. Your Hancock, one of the big downsides, you've got 450 strength and weaken, so you broke the 400% barrier, which is nice. Strength and weaken gear is expensive. You can run a Gabriel Hall too. That helps out. Yeah, I guess your sweet gear is fine. I mean, it's real easy to get it to 25. That's probably worth doing because as you get later into Galactic Battle, strength and weaken marches become the thing because you can pick and choose your fights and not lose any troops and get like a proper point shift where you don't give away any points. So that's something I would be looking at.
Well, he's definitely next right now. If you go to Rogers, that's why I've been leveling up Hancock. I'm trying to get all of Rogers' gear to 30. So I've been getting a lot of 25 bots, stuff like that, and kind of wasting them, but at the same time, not really. I've been recycling them to get 30 bots to get Rogers to 30, all of his gear, except for the Eternal Barrier because that's coming off of him. So
I like the Hubarian build. I like the Holy Grail. It's kind of an overlooked item, but it shouldn't be. It's quite good. Penetration and damage.
I mean, I like it. I do a fair amount of damage with that build when I want to, so.
Yeah, if you have enough attack on him, that counter move really hits hard. Plus his backstab gets extra damage on the second strike, and you have twin running here, so backstab hits really hard. So this is a good Hubarian build, but getting that 100% penetration is just so ridiculously expensive. It's not going to happen. But
yeah, that's not happening for a while for me anyways, so.
Yeah, but this Hubarian is infantry. So
Well, if you look at my basic research for infantry, that's almost maxed itself. All the masteries are done. It's just that last dodge there that has to go up to 10.
okay, so that's not bad. But we have tier 9. Okay, so you have tier 9 infantry. Gotcha. Yeah, I see. Tier 9 infantry, Hubarian. I like that. That works.
And I'm almost halfway to T11 right now, and that's what I'm working on. So I've been focusing everything on there.
Looks like your leadership is all at 60. That's interesting. Well, at least for those.
Well, I usually eat my commanders, so.
Soda Man. Yeah, I don't know if eating commanders is the right way to do it anymore if you're just getting magazines for the awakened materials. I
Well, if
think
you see how many S-Class I have, about a month ago I stopped eating them, but I haven't put any magazines on any commanders I don't plan on ever using, so.
you got 10k on Plasma here, level 32 Quantum Blast. I mean, Plasma is still really good when you run into Glass Cannon builds, Dragon Slayers, Gillies, other Plasmas. Just march small amounts, usually always trade well. I end up using him a lot in Galactic Battle and server-side
Oh.
PvP.
My problem is I get a lot of half-started projects. Like if you look at Regina and Mysterious Warrior, stuff like that, I start them, I get them up to like 5, 6K, and then I just lose interest because they're not doing what I want them to do. So now I got, just between those two, probably 10K leadership that's just sitting there, and I don't want to do the faction task to get them S-Class just to eat them, so.
Right. Yeah, you can use the leadership transfer token, but those are expensive.
Does that work for A-Class? Taking it off of an A-Class?
I thought it did. Let's double check real quick. Let's see. It's in World Event? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it works, but it's not cheap. Certainly not cheap. Might be worth just yeah.
It's actually funny. The first time I used that transfer chip, I transferred all of Neko's 110K onto Vega. And then I got Neko back up to 5K, and I pretty much wasted that transfer chip because then I ate Neko into Rogers when I got him because I wanted to up his leadership.
Oh, no.
So, I mean, I said goodbye to level 60 skills, everything else. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I will always, in my heart, be a Neko main because he hits really hard if you build him right. But it's just, in this new meta, he's pretty much going to be worthless, so.
Yeah, I mean, as a one-slot buster, he's okay, but at that point, you just go Gilly.
Well, and that's the thing I like about Vega. I could throw 10 T9s or 10 T10s per slot and get good reward out of it. Neko, half the time to get a decent amount of kills out of him, I had to risk way more than it was worth. That's the only bad thing about infantry, you know what I mean?
Hey, wait a
You
minute.
usually have to...
You're on wave 280. Why aren't you on wave 300?
Because remember that whole statement about half-started projects?
You can't half-start this one. I've gotten like 20 or 30 of those Geiststone frags over the last year. You gotta do this. It's easy. It'll take you like 20 minutes.
And plus, I'm that irrational player that when I lose 50 serious in a cat battle and I don't have the meta, I'll say screw it and eat one of my like T9, T10 apocalypses just to get the meta to heal them because I don't have the resources. And usually it's before GC or something like that. So.
Gotcha. That's right. You can cannibalize your own ships. Man, I've gotten like...
I wish I didn't have that feature. I'd be at 300 already.
I literally have never cashed in my meta crystals for unlimited crystals or anything. I just haven't quantized my paraloper. God, I hate saying that. That's such a dumb thing to say, quantizing my paraloper. But I literally have hundreds
Mine's actually running right now, so I have the domestication potion going at the moment.
Yeah, I should probably do it. I could use the unlimited crystals now. But
well, me, it's not as much UCs. I like using it for Yetis, hummingbirds, rangers, stuff like that. Just training enough of them. So, I mean, even in Galactic Campaign, a lot of my points come from a T1 Vega, stuff like that. If I find out they're not running tier suppression, I just one slot bust with 20,000 hummingbirds. Usually, you still get a decent trade if they're not running T12 with tier suppression. So.
Oh, that's right. You could build rangers with meta energy if you have a quantized paraloper, and it's cheap. Speed build them. Wow. All right, look at our meat shield here. 4.5 million. We got to get that meat shield up to 15, 17 million.
Yeah. Kind of slacking in that department, but
yeah, got to do that. Otherwise, you're going to get hit by a max leadership player, and they're going to hit you for, what is it, 4.8 million rangers? So you'll actually get knocked down to tier 1 Yetis. Yeah, got to do that before
well,
next.
I mean, Exo hits for 2 million. Rangers. So
The fact that you know that means that you should build more Rangers.
yeah, but I've never been hit by Exo. I am pretty strict on my shields. That thing never runs out. So, and when I'm sending to capitals, usually I have force field on. So.
Okay, so let's look at this account, figure out what we got to do here. First off, item inventory. You are at 1,000. I think I've heard some crazy conspiracy theories on how to get to 2,000. I don't think the devs have ever confirmed it, but I used to believe it was if you spent a lot during a spend event, you would get there. Someone else mentioned that it was like if you're in the top 10 of your server, you get 2,000 inventory slots. But I just don't know why they don't put that out there. Why is that information kept secret? It doesn't need to be kept secret. They just need a little I button, a little info bar. Oh, you can't see the 1,000 because my chair's in the way. Should I go this way? That way. There. Chair. Oh, I look like an idiot right now.
Well, I will say if it was the whole top 10 thing, you think they would want people to know that? Because that'd push people to spend to get there.
Right. Incentive. Exactly. Oh! You Lost is here. Oh, wow. Okay, you've got You Lost, Ominous, Takase. Okay. I'm surprised. Exostalker's not... Okay, that's not power, though. What's the power at? Individual power. Lunch Lady. Ooh, man. Is Lunch Lady actually a woman?
I don't know, and I will say this for Lunch Lady, though, even with this war going on, she is a pretty peaceful player. She's strictly Galactic Campaign oriented, and as far as this whole war goes with us, she was not quite for it, know what I mean? She wants to focus on Galactic Campaign. So, I can gladly say that I haven't had to really worry about her zeroing me.
Okay. Well, that's usually the way it is with the top players on the server. They're not trying to kill their server. There's like this unspoken rule that the biggest players try not to grief people because they don't want to be griefed, and then they just don't take joy in zeroing players. And one of the things that happens in EVE Online is if you kill a player just because you can, because there's PvP sec or null sec, and you can just kill players and they lose everything on their ship. It's not like Arc of War where you lose everything and you literally have nothing. You have a home base, so you still have your money, but players are known to give people back the things they take from them, or just give them the money just to keep them playing because they have player retention in mind. It's a 15-year-old game. They've lost a lot of players. Arc of War is almost 4 years old, 5 years old, and the player base is way, way heavier into spending, and it's a way more brutal game. But I think eventually the main players in the game, the top power players on the server, will all start kind of following that rule as like a creed. Like, there's no point being the biggest ship on your server if you're the only ship on your server, right? If you zero,
definitely makes sense.
Yeah, if you zero like 4 or 5 of the best active PvPers that go against you all the time, and they don't log in next week, now you just lost 5 active players. Then the next week, maybe a few more show up, you zero them. After zeroing 10, 15, 20 players of the most active players in your server starts to die. And that's when the developers will migrate them or merge them. But yeah, it's weird. There's not enough reward in zeroing players. And maybe that's a good thing. But
I say I'm glad for that.
Yeah. I think that's one of the downsides of Arc Wars. It's almost too brutal. And they think that maybe that's why people are willing to spend, because of just the sheer adrenaline of risking everything, like going all in when you go to attack somebody. But I don't think the game needs that anymore. I think they just need more stability, maintenance, retention, community involvement. I don't know. I don't want to go down that road. It's been a mess with them. Did you see Uberox? He got first place in the Arc of War videos on the official YouTube channel.
No, I haven't seen that. I only pay attention to your videos, Melt.
Ah, thank you. No, the Arc of War has their own community channel on YouTube. They launched it 3 or 4 months ago. I helped them launch it. I was advertising it. I got them their first 1,000 subscribers, but I didn't rub that in their face. And then they had this contest to get other content creators to send them videos and stuff like that. And I sent them some videos to get them started. And I wasn't included in the leaderboards. So I'm a little salty about that. It's just like, why? Why insult me? I don't know, man.
Okay, I may watch a Ridiculous Badger video or two here and there.
He's been on one lately, man. He's going after him. And in the past, I used to see a lot of what I do is community management, right? Like, what people may not realize is my channel has literally thousands of views per video, and that's just Ark of War players who play Ark of War every day. But in the month, I'll influence 11 to 25,000 players, because not everyone watches the same video. Some people don't even watch meme reviews. Some people only watch Tuesday Newsday. Some people prefer the long Zenith series episodes, where they can, or the not Zenith series, excuse me, Zentown Heroes. But I get to shape a narrative. And if my narrative is like, developers are good, Ark of War good, PvP good, whatever I say is what people regurgitate. And I used to stop people from going after the company and giving the company benefit of the doubt and pushing people to, approach their problems a different way and not try to lash out. But that's not my job. That was something I did as a service to the community. I still do it to some extent, but like, what Badger's on right now, going after him for all the things they do wrong with intellectual property and, hidden patch notes. Normally in the past, I might have like tried to slow him down on that or get him in touch with somebody at Seven Pirates who can actually give him a better answer. But instead, I'm just supporting him, man. He's a content creator. You just take your own direction with your content, and it's not my job to police their community. They want to run a YouTube channel. They want to run their community. They don't want me to get involved with it. Fine. I made them an offer. They turned it down. So, not my job. I kind of feel bad saying that.
Well, me personally, I think you kind of have to have that one person in the community that kind of points out the BS, just so they know, hey, we know this is going on.
Right. Yeah.
And that's Badger. He's going to tell them, hey, you're not doing this right. Hey, it's kind of shitty of you to do this. Know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's this infectious, it's not a meme, but like this undertone of like, there's a momentum that grows. When you start to see infection or you start to see issues, you start to see more. It's like when you buy a new vehicle and all of a sudden you see it everywhere. If that becomes the mindset and players start getting frustrated about each and every little thing, that starts to spiral and people start looking for other things. Like I'm openly going to play Eve Echoes. I don't intend to stop Ark of War. I still think Ark of War is amazingly interesting. I think it's a great puzzle game. There's a lot going on here. But as far as my attention span is concerned, I'm going to try Eve Echoes. And I know Badger's going to try Eve Echoes and Skillet's going to try Eve Echoes. All the content creators are pretty much walking, not away from Seven Pirates, but they didn't meet us for the parlay, Like, we came out, introduced ourselves, told them what we're doing, and they just didn't show up. So that's kind of how that goes. So that's unfortunate. But
yeah, it is. But what do you do?
Well, it sucks. It's a good question. What do you do? If that was a rhetorical question, I'm sorry, because I have an answer. You have to be careful, because the people that are watching this video, they're not me. Not everyone is a tier 12 account that has been to the end of the game and has solved all the puzzles they want to solve, and I'm waiting for the next big thing. A lot of people just got tier 5. They're so excited about their death airships and what commanders they're going to use them on. And they just started PvPing, and they finally got to the amount of troops they want. And they watch the channel to learn, and all of a sudden you hear a guy like me saying, the developers aren't, doing what we want. People are looking to other games. That's really discouraging. I don't want to put that out there, because the adventure of Ark of War is a great deal of fun. But the end of the road right now is not so bright.
I can say I'm not looking for another game.
Yeah. Not to mention,
simple fact, I don't want to spend on another game.
Well, that's the other thing. It's not a spending game.
I've spent enough already.
I've been hanging out with some Eve players. Apparently, even the $15 a month subscription, a lot of people don't play. We got players in our game dropping hundreds of dollars a day. It's just a whole different... This game is so wild, man. I don't even know why it's legal. Why is this game legal? It's like... Do you know... you ever heard of... what are they called? The giant claw games you see at like Denny's and stuff?
I've seen them, yeah.
Yeah, so what those are is you might think that that's gambling. It's not. Those are games of skill. The difference between a game of skill and a game of chance is in a game of skill, you dictate your success. Granted, there has to be a chance you can win, right? Because they can program it so you can never have enough grip strength. But assuming that it's not programmed to always lose, it's a game of skill. Well, a game of chance is you just roll the dice and you have no idea what your luck is. And unless they publish those odds, it's truly just luck, which can be problematic legally speaking in multiple states. And then, of course, from a government standpoint, and this game is in every country, and there is a lot of that. There is an absolute random chance, and there's a lot of money spent through it. So I hate to even seed this out there, but one day someone's going to make a huge claim against Seven Pirates in the Google Play Store, and it's going to make them change the way the game is played. I don't think it'll shut the game down, but it'll definitely make them change the way it's played. But they're not the only ones. This is not the only game that has loot boxes and games of chance built into them. But
I gotta say, that's one of my love-hate things with this game, is you could build your commanders perfectly, have the right gear set, have the right awakening, and there's still that chance that you're not going to trigger what you need to, or your opponent's going to just trigger everything right, and you're still going to lose.
Yeah. Yeah, and we saw that with Odad's recent complaint that like his commander versus an enemy commander with the same exact gear, or same exact research and troops, but his gear was better. He lost more matches than his opponent when he had better everything. And if it was just one time, fine, but 10 times he loses the majority of them, something's wrong. He thought there was maybe some conflict there, and maybe it's a bit of a conspiracy theory that it was like IP-based throttling or something, but when you have your biggest players in the game starting to think like that, it's bad for everyone.
You kind of get a little bit of a problem going on there.
Yeah, and he's not the only one. If you saw Rookie's episode of Zentown Heroes, he had the same thoughts.
Oh, I watched it.
Yeah, he had the same thoughts, that there was meddling involved, or hidden numbers about skill trigger rates. I haven't dug into that, but I think if it is anything, it's based on or Ace of Galaxy may have a different trigger rate than PvP server side versus GB versus All-Star. They're not all 40% skills. They may throttle them up and down. I have no evidence to prove that, but if I had to suspect there was an issue with the code, it would be in the platform where that data is collected and calculated, as opposed to universally across the board. But anyway, we're supposed to talk about this account. What are we trying to do? Are we trying to rush to tier 11? We're halfway
that's
there.
kind of where I'm heading right now.
So we're definitely staying on the
right
airships.
now. I have the UCs now for probably the first two, maybe 3 of the next one there, the airship defense. And right now it just comes down to resources. I mean, as of this morning, it's going to be a little harder to gather those. So
Indeed. Do you guys have a resource vendor, a resource seller, a black market third-party seller?
We may. As far as we'll take that one.
All right. So tier 11 comes around. You get Maelstroms. That's airship infantry. Does that mean we bring Hubarian into the mix? Are we going to throw Gilly up?
Oh, that definitely means Hubarian's coming in.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I've been kind of leaning towards my Stella. She's only A-class, but I like to throw Hancock Swede gear on her whenever I see some airship action, so...
All right. Okay. Definitely want to work on that Swede gear. I think as you get further into GB, that's going to be more useful for you. And tier 10 with Swede gear is really good. If you run into anyone running like tier 12 attack troops, that means airships like, Dragon Slayers that are running the what are they called? The airships that only the tier 12 attack troops. They can't beat Swede. So
yeah, the Ethergens there.
The Ethergen, yeah, that's right. So if you're running tier 9 infantry against Ethergens in proper Swede gear, you can wreck a tier 12 Dragon Slayer. Just all of a sudden you become very relevant because Dragon Slayer is a massive part of the meta right now. Everyone in GB is running a Dragon Slayer, but they have to run Shadow on her. Otherwise,
half of them's running Shadow or something with RWE, though. That's the biggest thing.
They have to be, right? They have to Shadow and Awaken, usually. But if they aren't, you get a chance to do some damage. Because no one's running the APOC Hall. That's the one with the Resistance Weakened. It's just not as good as it used to be. When you look at the Dawn Hall or the Aegis Hall or even the Gabriel Hall, yeah, it just kind of got phased out. It's a tier 2 legendary ship. Yeah, I gotta be careful with
I still use Apocalypse Hull here and there, but mainly for me it's all Dawn or Gabriel myself, so...
Yeah, and that's
And I'm working on the Diablo hole, so
Diablo Hole's nice, especially for tiling and hitting people, attack speed or marching speed, capacity, suppression. That's a really good ship.
let's just say I'm looking at it for tiling. So
Yeah, yeah, and that means you need a lot of Black Knight chess pieces.
which I do have one that's interchangeable on my Hancock. It's already gemmed and everything. I can switch it out when I need it, and he's running a 2-piece Libra set. So
Yeah. I see that here. I'm surprised you don't have more legendaries. You know what I mean? Like 6 helmets, 6 pants, 7 chest pieces. I mean, you have just the amount of
I
legendaries.
kind of went through a little bit of recycling lately of ones I wasn't using. I had like
Yeah.
3 pairs of Nixas. I had like 4 Dev helms. I just recycled them to get level 30 bots. And one level 35 bot from a level 30 Apocalyptor I had from like the first few months of the game. First piece of gear I brought to 30 and then found out it was a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I had a lot more legendary gear, but I went on a little bit of a recycling bender.
You might want to look into getting the what are those? The Crimson sunglasses for your Hubarian. Because if you're going to be bringing him into the play, it'd be nice to have these because they're just very underrated. The red pupils, stat wise though, 40%, 40%, 20%. That's 10% stats per level. That's considered a tier 4 legendary. That's up there with the Beetlejuice, Antares, Alkoid, Tanlang. These are actually 12, right? Oh, this one's 9. But damage reduction, penetration. But yeah, it's up there, man. It's stat-wise, it's a monster. Now, there's no doubt that Holy Grail's good. It's 9% per level. And it's got penetration, damage reduction. Red Pupil, though, that dodge really does pay off. The accuracy's okay on Hubarian. You know, the backstab, that double strike's nice. It's a guaranteed hit. So you don't get as much value for accuracy there. But landing hits is important. You know, it's an overlooked stat, and it has a diminishing return. But it's not as good as damage, but it's value. So... yeah.
Well, I will say one thing about Hubarian. I love running Andromeda on him because you have twins, so you have 2 chances to trigger Andromeda every turn. And it's fun just to skip their turns and just stack up, make sure every slot ends up with, what's it called, counter move.
Yeah, yeah. Why do you run Gemini instead of Sagittarius?
Well, I like when Gemini and Backstab goes off at the same time on a twin. I still get my 2 full hits.
Sagittarius should hit quite a bit harder.
But I've been playing around with him. I don't know quite gems and stuff which way I'm going to go with him. I know right now I definitely like the Andromeda. I haven't chosen if I'm going to stick with Gemini, go to Sagittarius, or anything like that yet. But like most people, I'm still trying to figure him out.
Yeah, Big Skillet was working on him for a while, and he just kind of seems like more of a tanky commander for like a stand your ground and crash in. But Tank Stella is so good in the current meta. Everyone's kind of shifted to her, but Hubarian can hit hard, man. That counter move.
I will say, I started him off with the classic Dev Helm, Titans, Nixas, and then the Overlord pants you see there. And I will say this one, running the Wild Roses and everything, still seems to hit a little bit harder, even though the penetration isn't that high on the counter move and stuff. It seems to be doing pretty well.
So, yeah, you're running your Magiwell on Vega. Technically, if your opponent's not using Crit Wither, Magiwell does hit harder. But have you experimented with Overlords in the pant slot on your Vega instead?
No, I mean, I've run Overlord on my infantry mains the whole time, and I haven't tried them on Vega yet. I had them on Neko, and they kind of just transitioned right into Hubarian.
Gotcha. Might consider doing that. Are you running a lot of simulated battles?
Oh, yeah. I've been trying. My new thing is I run Rogers with the Maelstroms, the T-11 airships, and then I run Chain on him, the infantry skill. And so far, it seems like I've successfully been able to shut down other Rogers, And even Walker comms using Steam Cannon, they can't trigger it if they can't trigger their skills. Seems to be working pretty good so far, so.
Might try dual blades instead. Give it a shot. Dual blades can jump to other slots in the back, which is really nice. And the problem with chain is you know, you can get a diminishing return on it if your back row chains the same front row. But, you know, triggers twice as often, so there's that. But hey, I found Baba Yaga in Ace of Galaxy. Should we go after him?
You could try it. I think I shouldn't have too much of a problem.
I don't know. If we don't have tear suppression, we're about to get wrecked. Oh, we're not going to make it. He's going to blow us up.
Rogers will take care of him.
Oh, wait a minute. We're not hitting hard enough to kill him. This might work. Twin, Andromeda, counter move. Oh, I think...
it's going to be a close one.
It's going to be close, but I think he's got enough troops that he'll bomb through us. Let's see, we're halfway down. He has half his troops left. No,
I don't know. I think that back middle slot might be able to get through there before he finishes us off.
It's not going to do it in one shot, though. Uh-oh. We'll see it on this next one. Oh no, he only have 5 troops. Oh, no, he might beat us. He might beat us. If he lands a Sagittarius, we're in trouble. Okay. Okay. And you get to go first. Okay. I think... Uh-oh, he's going to get another shot. If he lands a Gemini, we're in trouble.
Yeah, but I'm going to blow that up if... Oh, okay. I thought I was going to blow up that slot in that hit.
Okay, we softened him up pretty good. Oh, there's the bomb. Oh, no! All he needs is a Gemini, and he wins. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. You only have 3 troops. Oh, there's just not enough. Counter move, though. You got the counter move. That should do it. Oh, legendary clutch counter move. And the Andromeda. Twin, man. Twin is getting great value here. Well done. Can he do... Nah, yeah, he doesn't do it. Wow, that was close. Hubarian comes through. That was a tough matchup for him. Okay, Stella's going to wreck through.
He definitely killed him a lot quicker than I thought he was going to.
Yeah. Alright, so we're dead here. Okay, now. 96 Sirius per slot. Tyrant cometh. Defensive stance. She's not going to have a steam cannon. I think we win this pretty handedly. I don't even think we're going to lose more than 5 troops. Let's see, 96 in the front row? Nope, don't even lose a single troop. The X, tier 7. No, he's done. Baba Yaga, sit down. Uh-oh, Sniper, Mysterious Wind. Uh-oh. Yeah, not enough.
I'm scared.
Tier 7's trash. Tier 7's trash, man. It's crazy how the game changes when you get to tier 9. Alright, Baba Yaga, sit down. Didn't even go to the 3rd commander. Alright. Pandemonium, QQG, shutdown. 18,000. Did you do the Endless event this weekend? Get a bunch of coins for that?
Oh, yeah. I had less than 1,000 when I started it.
Nice. Alright, let's talk about the guild. Who's holding the guild together? Is it all Roxanne?
Well, I mean, this guild, it's more of, we have a leadership board, know what I mean? Like, we all talk it out, the officers and all that.
Oh, you can see that, huh?
I can see that. Thanks for that.
Uh-huh. Oh, look at that. She saw our hearts. She'll find out tomorrow or Wednesday. Let's see. Too late. Okay, we'll leave World Chat alone. All right, what else do we need to do on this account? Let's wrap this thing up.
Well, if your basic Walker research affects your advanced airship research, I should probably finish that.
It does not.
That'd probably be a good start.
It certainly does not.
Well, good, then I'm not going to touch it.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a second build for that Hancock, actually.
The Eternal Knight?
Eternal Knight, EB, Gift of the Valkyrie. I run the Invincible, and I run Phantom Pants on them.
That's a great build. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'm telling you, Hancock, he's really underutilized. With your tier 10, get him some best in slot gear like you were just talking about. Run him in Endless next time it's around. Run him in Ace of Galaxy even, and you'll see some amazing results. He just pops off sometimes. He's always featured on Replay of the Week. He's so good.
Well, and that's why I also run the level 9 Steam Cannon on him, because I really hate when I run into a bigger Hancock and I just can't do anything.
Level 9?
When someone has just as good. Yeah. Why not? I did that release event, got 90 full metal tokens, figured I'd rather have them on Hancock than actually unlock full metal.
Wow.
And might as well use the tokens up.
Wow, 9. I mean, that's a lot. Dodge and crit by 9%. The problem is it just doesn't scale very well. Lowering your enemy's dodge minus 9% and their crit 9% kind of sucks. You know? I mean, if you have them, use them, but level 1 is really enough.
Yeah, that's the only reason I did. I figured I'm not going to use them for anything else. Might as well put them on them.
Yeah, skills like, chain, sleep, dual blades, steam cannon, they all get full value at level 1. The extra, stat isn't that good, But even like Hubarian's backstab, that double strike, the second strike here, actually will get full value on the damage. So it does the additional attack dealing 126%. You get that full damage even at level 1. So that's really nice.
Yeah, it works nice. I mean,
I should say that with Wings of Eternity, if you're Hubarian and you hit Wings of Eternity, your backstab gets full damage. And Wings of Eternity is lower damage unless you have higher Wings of Eternity. I had to clarify that. So that's why it's better than Twin, because it could just pop off.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. That's why I have Twin on there for now, because I don't have Stella medals and I'm not resetting my faction to get them.
Oh, come on. I just did a video on that. It's so easy. Oh, you have enough. No, you don't. 600. Okay. Well, plus your airship, so you need those Rogers Awaken tokens and Dragon Slayer Awaken tokens, I guess.
Well, it's actually funny. When I first started this game, I was a Walker main. Go figure, my Walker research is terrible now. But I was actually a Galileo main up until I hit about T5. And then I'm like, yeah, this ain't working. And switched to infantry because they seem to hit a lot harder. And so I started off with a Walker faction. I had revered that. And I'd become an airship main and probably stayed that way for a few months before I finally decided it was a good idea to switch. Only because I cringed at the idea of spending 10,000 gold just to release a commander I'm probably going to eat, aka Rayman. But now with this new thing, it actually works out because I get those Gallison alloys I can awaken Rogers with if I want to.
Well, you probably, especially, with tier 10, tier 11, you don't need as much resistance weekend, but definitely not bad to have. I'm trying to find your Gilly. There she is. You have 21 Cassatan turkeys. Did you know that Gilly was the VIP of the Cassatan turkey shop?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Right there, Cassatan. Yeah. And you have 4 mythic
I think I kind of dislike Gilly a little more now.
No. She's one of the best built commanders in the game. All right. What do you got for resources? Man, we're broke on resources. You got some cash, though.
That T11 research, I tell you.
Yeah, it eats it all up. Eats up everything. Man, when young players come and see these accounts and they see the advanced research, and I click on something like this, and they go, oh, it's only 60 million. God, that's a lot. That they don't realize is at level 5, it's like 250 million everything. And 40,000.
Well, what I mean, I remember when I first joined this game, and I was thinking about going level 21, and I thought that was expensive. I mean, when you first start off, level 21, it's just like, am I ever going to reach that? Doing these research queues, I wish I could go back to where that's all I needed to come up with.
Yeah, and I think like one of those deceptive things about this game is that they kind of keep the advanced research tab blocked for younger players. Because if players on their first day could go see advanced research, they'd go, oh, hell nah. Or they would assume that there's a way to get hundreds of millions of resources, and there's not.
if I saw it prior to any time I unlocked it and decided to go for it, I'm not gonna lie, I probably wouldn't be talking to you today. I'd be
Yeah.
playing something else.
Yeah, sure. Keep us in the blinders. It's a good strategy. But it's like,
But I mean, once you unlock that advanced research queue, you're like, well, I'm already here.
I'm already here, and you probably just paid like 2,000 or 3,000 to get there. You can't stop now. You know, dude.
I will tell you though, I haven't spent as much as a lot of people to even get to T10, T11. I did a lot of it the free-to-play way.
Do you want to divulge how much you've spent?
I'm gonna say, at this point, probably 4 to 5K.
Yep. That sounds about right. It's crazy. 60 million power arc. 4 to 5K. It's reasonable. And it's not really easier to get to 60 million cheaper than that. So if you look at how many people are at 100 million power, you have to assume they're 10,000 plus into the game. And that doesn't even show you what they've lost in PvP gold, right? Army gold, troops gold. You know, just there's so much gold that's not factored in, that's wasted. And you look at all the accounts out there, they need to focus on player
Like this
retention.
morning when I may or may not have been botting Rangers, having a little Ranger bot going on
Right,
there.
yeah.
I didn't have enough cash on, and when I looked back at my screen, it had eaten up 50,000 gold buying cash boxes because the auto bot kept clicking on it.
Oh, no. Oh,
And when I looked, I was at the buy gold screen because that's all I had. It ate up all of my gold buying cash boxes.
Can't escalate that one to support.
Yeah, I figured that probably wasn't a good idea.
Oh, that's funny. Do you ever snipe the
Oh,
auction
I was
house?
so nettled. What was that?
Did you say meddled?
Oh, I was so nettled about that.
I gotta look that up. What does that mean? Irritated. Oh, shit. Learn a new word. That's the word of the day, folks. Nettled. I know what stingy nettles are. Those suck.
That's probably where it came from.
Yeah. This is a Thalamus Booster 6 for 70,000 melange. This is a good buy. I mean, this is for a Valkyrie helm. I would buy these up all... Oh, wait, that's Thalamus Booster 1. Sorry. That's level 6. Someone tried to pull a fast one. They would have got me.
I mean, the only reason I didn't even think about buying that is to finish upgrading it to recycle it. Not lying.
I got so many legendaries from mobilization on the weekend. I don't even think about. I just, if you looked at my melange bot recycling video, I have so many legendaries, and I just take it for granted. But it's because I don't do a lot on that account. I'm not always trying to minimize my. I'm not always trying to like scrunch and recycle everything down to get the most value out of it. I don't know. Maybe I should. I don't know. I just don't think.
I will say this weekend I got the most mobilization points I've ever gotten.
How'd you do?
And that was a whopping 56,000 points.
That's not bad. I mean,
I got an IntelliBot out of it. That was about it.
Yeah. How long did it take you?
10, 15 minutes each day.
Oh, that's not bad at all. That's super short. How much
But
gold?
I spend 10 to 15,000 gold a day.
Yeah.
Cycling through the quest till I get the mop up 40 times chapter 3 or add 100 leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Or those ones that take 2 seconds.
Right. Yeah. Not the kill monster ones. Those ones suck, man. That's so much work.
No, I don't do those, and I don't do the Ace of Galaxy ones for the simple fact that every time I'll be winning all 8 matches every time I go into Ace of Galaxy sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Not every time, but as soon as I click defeat 20 people in Ace of Galaxy, I win like 1 or 2 per 8. And it just takes forever, I swear.
As the week goes on, the Ace of Galaxy opponent gets more difficult. So if you do a lot of Ace early in the week, then come the weekend, you're in trouble. That's how that
I probably
works.
do like 5 or 6 refreshes a day on there because when I'm waiting on a queue or I'm just gathering, not really doing any PvP or anything, I mean, that's about the only thing you can really do to kill other people's troops, even if it's not real. So I go through a lot of that.
Do you play a lot of World Event?
Off and on, I go through my streaks. It all depends on my work schedule and stuff like that, if I actually get out or something like that in time to actually play it. But
All right, so you get in there every once in a while.
I don't really do that all-star very much.
Oh, there's Badger. Interesting.
Like, if you look, most of my points all come from defenses. That's pretty much all I do. If you look at my inventory, I have like, what is it, 120 of those medals to challenge people.
Hmm. We could challenge this guy. Let's see. I feel like I clicked on someone and now I don't know who it was. Was it the first one? What's wrong with me? Oh, that's that's ours. Okay, let's go for it. Rogers in the bottom slot's gonna lose. We'll win 1 and 2. No, we suck again. Okay. 1549. Gotta see what he's got here. Plasma Stella, Gilly, X, yeah. That's a pretty big hoodoo. We can win in slot 2. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna win this one.
Try it. I
We're
don't
gonna
care
go
about
for
my
it.
all-star ranking anyways. Let's do it.
Aha! Sweet. We win. All right, let's wrap this episode up and, yeah, call it a day. Any other
How
questions?
much gold do I got there?
2643.
Okay, I was gonna say, usually you end this on like a free release or something, don't you?
Ah, no, that's just at random. That's just at random. Although, one thing that I liked about Sky Kingdoms is they had this event once a month or once every other month that you could turn your free release, single release tokens into the release 10s. And they never gave us that on Ark War. But I thought one day they would, so I think I literally have like 300 of them. But
I do have to say one thing that I find funny. You know how I'm in Celluloid's guild here, or you lost, as you call him?
Mm-hmm.
In Sky Kingdoms, I'm in his guild too, and it wasn't coordinated. It was by chance.
Really?
Yeah, he actually went to hit me hit me one day when my shield expired in there, and I saw his name, mailed him. I said, "Do you play Ark of War?" And he's like, "Yeah," and we figured out who each other were. It's just like, well, you just got yourself saved from getting zeroed, and told me to join his guild.
How long? When was the last time you logged into Sky Kingdoms?
Yesterday, but it's like maybe twice a week. That's more my free to play arc. I'm not going to spend even close to what I do on this one.
Yeah.
So that one's just for fun here and there.
I still have a guild in Sky Kingdoms. I love the players. I love the guild. They're actually a good group of people. It's just the game itself isn't different enough from Ark of War to like draw me in. So
I kind of find it boring almost restarting the game again because it feels the exact same.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really. I don't have that drive like I did the first time I logged into Ark of War. I look at it and be like, I've been through all this before.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks a little different.
Right.
Kind of kills your motivation because it's like re-mowing a lawn twice after you just finish it. You don't want to do it.
Re-mowing your lawn again. That's exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like
that's the perfect.
It's a waste of time.
But you know, the downside is that yeah, you have to redo it all again. But the upside is that you already know how to do it. And the thing about Ark of War and is it's such an incredibly deep game. The more you play it, the more you learn. You can play for months and months and years and still learn new things. That's with any MMO, and I think Ark of War is an MMO. It's a massive multiplayer online or role-playing game or whatever. But if you go to play a new game, you have to learn everything over again, which is fun. But it's steep, man. It's really steep. Like, it just takes a lot of time and effort and trial and error, which is something I'm discovering with Eve, but I'm enjoying
Well,
it.
I will say, in Sky Kingdoms, I didn't waste my time with walkers or infantry. I'm already heading down the line of maining their version of Vega.
Yeah, Hecate.
Why not?
Yeah.
Kind of just get rid of those trial and errors in my past in this game. Just go straight for the airship, because they haven't made them obsolete in that game yet, so...
Airship will make a comeback. Maybe.
I don't know, that new commander actually looks pretty promising. Not gonna lie.
I don't know. His first skill doesn't hit hard enough, and his heal is nice.
Yeah, but that Mender bot is just, it's OP.
It's big time heals, but I don't know, man. Not sold on it. Gets shut down by dual
Put
blades.
Menderbot on Rogers and simulated, and I tell you what, you do pretty darn well.
Until you run into a steam cannon. And then again, I mean, if they have to hit you really hard, against an elf, you'll do okay. I don't know. I'd like to see that.
That's why I usually run Cepheus on my Rogers, or I used to run on a Vega, just in case you run into elves you can't heal. That's always a plus.
Yeah. But it also feels like if just skipping one round of healing on an elf isn't enough to kill her. You know, you gotta,
Well,
like,
if it's Cepheus on a Vega against an elf, that one round can make a pretty big difference, in my opinion.
Yeah, it definitely
Vega
can.
hits hard enough.
Yeah, it definitely can. All right, let's give some shout outs to the guild. Who's the number one officer in charge of all the bureaucracy?
Well, Soyloy runs most of the diplomacy. On top of that, you got Rox. And... Sorry, I'm trying to look at the list you got there. Our HR officers are actually me, Triton, and Drake, the human resources officers.
And that's just dealing with disgruntled players, tile disputes, stuff like that.
Oh no, sorry, not Drake. Death's Day.
Sorry,
Us
Death's
three.
Day.
If you look at information, you'll actually see a list of officers and what they do. If you go to information to the guild description. So
I love that when it's come time for shout outs, you mentioned yourself in the shout out. I think that's a first time. Oh, look at
well,
that.
you mentioned who deals with the most bureaucracy and everything. So
War General. Oh,
HR officer, I kind of deal with a lot of BS sometimes. So.
Mm-hmm. So strange that this. Sometimes the emulator doesn't pick up these tabs very well, so it looks all crazy. Okay, well, Aries, let's wrap it up. Is there anything else?
All right. I think we just about covered everything.
All right. Well, then I wish you the best of luck. Maybe one day we'll revisit this and see where you're at. Good luck in the Galactic Battle next week. I don't know who you're playing against, but you've got you, Lost, Roxanne, and a couple other good players. Maybe Lunch Lady will join one day. I don't know. Maybe we'll have an alliance with USG. I doubt it. War's good for business, guys. War's the answer. Yeah. Have fun this week. Get some more gold back. Try not to spend too much, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Alrighty, sounds good.
So you wanna be a player, but you weren't too smart. You gotta hit that up to get a pink